There we go. You are drawing the movement of the plant, the construction of the plant. Each idea that you have in mind as far as the way you want to approach a leaf or the way you want to approach a shape. And for those that are just very drawing for the very first time, plants and may have just only drawn other shapes of boxes and things, there is a sense of liberty, what we call leeway, where I may see the leaf turning in a direction. I don't have to copy it like a photo. I just have to give the movement, the interpretation. Because when you walk away from your drawing, the only thing we have is your drawing. We don't have the plant. So the construction is there so that the perspective of the plant is happening, that it looks like the plant is coming forward with a face that is facing me, like the face of the plant is actually facing me. Like I can see the front edge of the plant, the top, or I can understand the side. So you draw that line. You have an open forum for how heavy you can place your grid lines and how the liberty you have to put down the bottom and the top side of something. Even if you don't see a line, you put that there on this side. So the plant form comes by way of construction. So you're looking at the, let me move that over. You're looking at the construction and the movement over here. On this side, we're going to deal with, whoops. All right, there we go. Let me turn that off. That's our Zoom. So we're looking at the tone on this side and the detail to form over here. Now you will be doing movement and construction again. Movement and construction does happen again on this side, but you'll be applying your tone, your form, the tonality that then goes to detail to form. So the order is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4, if you think of it in steps to help you draw. You have the movement, which we did over here in construction. Then over here, you have the movement and construction again, but then you got step 3 and 4, which is your tone and then detail to form. That's one thing, detail to form, and I'll show you how that looks. So let me do it again. You break down the shape that you're looking at, just an overall mass tone, like here's that big leaf. And here's the other one behind it. And then you have these pieces that come off the front. Like so, and it curves down like that. That shape curves down. You can draw with this, with the vine as you're in your laying to kind of really give you a shape. I had to move that leaf over a bit because I got one kind of in the background. So I still want to deal with overlap and foreground elements, midground, background. I'm not trying to draw background. I'm making the object that I'm dealing with have foreground, midground, background. It's not the entire world that I'm looking at. So you're isolating, and it's a study of that. So now I have this. Now what I'm gonna do here different is that as I put down these tones, I'm gonna actually put down a stronger separation between the light and dark, as you see over here, than I did on the other side. I'm gonna start to design out the light shape and dark shape. That's what I said. I haven't, this is just a light lay-in. So once I get that done, kind of rub it around a little bit, kind of soften up everything on that page a little bit. Now, I know where I'm drawing, what I'm going to draw on. So now I'm going to grab my construction. I'm going to be a little lighter with the construction, not as heavy on the left side, because the left side is saying I'm about movement and construction. So I'm about movement over here. So I'll start to draw. I'm not going to draw exactly on those tones because things may move around. I'm going to start to put in the movement of the surface quality of it. Remember, just keeping it. There we go. Top side, bottom side. It's not as detailed in all those movement pieces. In the background, starting to draw in where the leaf shapes are going to be. And as you notice, there's light and shadow already starting on the leaf that I'm drawing. So I'm already, it's already starting to formulate just based on the movement lines that I draw. They're light lines. So there's that big shape of a leaf right there. See it right here? This one coming out light side, shadow side there. And I'll pop in the other leaf down here and the one that's coming off of it here. Now, of course, I'm looking at my image and drawing because, again, being safe, not having to go outside, you may not want to, you can still draw, but the photos have to be very clear, crisp, shadow and light and everything. So this is, I'm gonna take a picture of this as far as the stage of getting back to the movement and construction. So I'm back at movement and construction, but I'm gonna start to apply other texture lines and other light shapes, not details, the shapes that are defined. Like around the plant, there's this separation between the light tone area, the texture of the upper part, and it makes a shape below it. So I'm gonna draw that shape in linear. So again, on this side, you're using, these lines are contour over form. These are going to be contour over form and surface. So as long as the lines you're working out, you have the contour of a line, but light, contour line over surface, but light lines, not heavy yet. So I'm just getting, okay, so there we go. I have leaf 1, leaf 2, and leaf 3 that I isolated. And I have this strange plant-based thing. I have no idea what type of plant this is. I was walking and I just looked at it and said, it's very weird. And it has, I think it has like little stickers, like if you touch it, yeah, pointers all over it too, coming out of it. Interesting. So now I'm going to move on to the next step. This was the vine and charcoal. Vine and charcoal. Now, of course, you can't see these little words I'm writing because it's upside down the way that this camera works. We'll be getting, I'm on a computer to get a different camera where it'll be right side up when you see the video. So I isolated 3 of the leaves. There's like a bazillion leaves in the picture though, but I isolated only 3 so that I can actually focus on drawing the needs that are necessary. Now this one slightly turns, so I have a line curving up and under because it's going to have to get darker under there. So now I'm going to take my softer vine. This is the soft. You want a medium and a soft, or a hard and a soft. You want to make sure when you get the vine charcoal. The compressed charcoal is only one thing. It's compressed. It's a block. It's a thick black block. They come in pieces, and then your charcoal pencils come in weights. I'm using a suitable 2B would be good for this project. Your 2B charcoal. Now, the heavier vine, the softer, thick, fat vine, I'm gonna use to separate the light and dark, but following my contour lines over form. I'm not going to just mass a whole tone of dark down. I'm following the lines the way they contour over the form. so that I'm creating a texture at the same time. I'll mask down softly, and you can blend softly areas. The great thing about this is you can isolate out areas. Everything doesn't have to show up, meaning the details I put along this edge and the flower here, I'll lessen the amount of detail I put over here. You know, you may see it all in the picture. I'll just block this out as one shape. So this is just getting me to separate the light and the dark on the leaf. And it's some of it's gonna go away. But I'm going in the direction of the form with the image. Now, as I put the tones down, I'm gonna realize I need to erase out. When I say erase out, details around to sharpen edges. I'm not erasing because I made a mistake. I'm erasing to draw. So this is drawing with the eraser. So I got to pull out the light underneath the shape, so that way when I get ready to put the crosshatch and hatching lines on the surface, they will have underneath tones and value that I don't have to draw in. And if you want to leave some silhouetting of shapes in the background, like there were other leaves there like this, you just make the shape like this, where those are leaves, but I don't draw them in. I just let the shape design. You use your vine for that. And you can create all the different, I can put another leaf here and leave it as tone. Don't draw lines on it or anything. Just leave it as that shape in the background. And then you can carve it out with the eraser. You can carve out the shape of the leaf with the eraser, uh, even making it softer, light on it, stuff like that. But it's not important. So you leave it as a tone that's at higher on the key of the value scale. So you have like a 10%, 20% tone here, but here we're going to deal with the full range of tone within the 10% all the way down to 70%. So then I'm gonna start to draw. Now I got some tone down and line details. Now I'm gonna move to detail form. So detail form, which is number 4. Now let me take a picture of this for this stage. This is the tone stage. So you have all the images. Now I'm going to detail form. This is when you start all of your you use lines where weight is being compressed, and you use thin line where weight is being stretched. So these lines down here will stay very thin and light because things are being stretched. But over here, things are being compressed. So I'm going to actually, let me look at this thing here. Put some hatch lines across the surface to start to detail out, using the words now to detail out the form. Putting hatch lines across the surface so I can get in there and detail out all of the form. This is when things are going to slow down for you. Things are going to start to become now fun time to binge watch. As you see in this area here, I'm detailing out the little knots where the little sticker lines are going to start to come out. You really want, you start to, I think that's sticker lines on this side over here, the sticker lines. So I'm gonna start to detail out the form and with hatch lines and cross hatch lines that work over and under the form. Now, all my heavy detail, this is about focal point. Focal and focus. This is out, and this down here is in. So you focus in your focal point. You have an out and an in. So this is out and this is in. That way I'm able to separate my areas. And there's a scale to your focal. Think of it as 1, 2, and 3. The more focus it is, you're at 3. The less focus it is, the mid focus here is at 2, this area here. And then the more focus it is 3 right here. So you have it's in, completely out, and this is minor. So I'll draw details, but when I get over here, my lines are going to be lighter and softer, but I'm going to start to hatch in the surface and the details of the leaf. It has a hole in it. Careful of the darks. My dark's a little too dark around that hole so that they don't overtake the darks that's in your main focus. And I'm using the stump now in order to soften up dark lines to blend them. Where anything stretch, lines are thin. They stretch, they get thin. Anything compresses, like here, they're gonna get thick. And there's some dark shadow over there anyway. So I can keep going on and on and on with the drawing, but this is what I want you to focus on. Let me put this down, take a picture of this. It can get very detailed, which is really nice, but subtle, meaning down here, this is my focus. So down here, I'm gonna make these tones a little closer together, but I could put real subtle marks all over the surface. What was the white pencil called? The white pencil this is an eraser. It's a eraser stick. Is back, oh my God, that's backwards. That's interesting. Sorry, that's a backwards, an eraser stick. So by Sanford, has the blue end and the hard tip eraser. And that gives me a chance to run over the vines and I can draw with this stuff, really cool little marks and textures in the, I can draw really nice textures in the surface of the, not in, but on the surface of the vine. Well, I can use that. The surface of the vine. And then I can go in with my pencil. Remember, the lines that compress are going to get tight. I can put a little bit of a darker line there, thin that one out really soft, thin line, and pull this part. And you can come up with some really beautiful imagery if you take your time as you do the process. I'm hatching over the surface, but the lines are hatched close together. So as you see, you really start getting the texture of a leaf in there, because wherever there's a change of plane, remember all these little edge highlights are on things. So you can rub out the creases in the leaves. You can create crease marks. This type of medium allows you to create subtleties of light and dark on very small, minute areas. So don't be aggressive, just stay subtle. Kind of like how I am working this little area here, down here, this little area here, there's light, dark, and then you can go in and get really subtle with the stumps and put even more tone in to create what's called the transition tone between that light and dark. Therefore, you have very subtle detail. Even down, I'll just put a little dot like this next to the light, and then I take the stump and I rub it in slightly. See how it blurs between the two to help give you that sense of rolling that the material is doing on the plant. So this is what you're shooting for. You'll have a page where one side is the part 1 and part 2 of movement and construction. Then the other side, you do movement and construction again. So you have part 1, part 2, then you get part 3 and 4 on top of it. It'll make it, it'll keep you engaged. At first, I was going to have you separate each part, where you do 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, 4 part. You have to draw it over and over again. But that become, right now, you're already going through a sense of monotony by staying inside. So I can have you condense it all on one side, but we see how your thinking process is on the left. It's about the movement and construction in perspective on the left, and over here you have movement construction, but you want tonality, detail to form, which will give you that sensibility that I'm doing over here. The materials, the order you work in is your vine light, vine dark, you have your charcoal, and your compress. So this is always compressed first. I'm sorry, your vine first. Then you go in with your charcoal pencil lines over here on this side. Over here, you do the same thing. And then you come back with a slight bit of compress to get the dark and light. And then you go back with the detailing of the charcoal pencil. And then you go back again, like I did with the vine, to help get some of the tone down, and then back with the charcoal pencil. It's such a layering process in drawing when you get over here. So don't get confused about order. We're like, oh, which one am I supposed to use first? Just remember the base is vine, and then the construction is charcoal. And then from there, you just want to make sure you're following tone and then detail form. That's the thing. You want to make sure your tones are there before you start trying to get into all the detail and form, because the tone, the detail and form is wrapping itself around the tone. That way you're able to have a more cohesive drawing. So any questions about things? Oh, it said I don't have any materials for this assignment. Where can I get them? Oh, y'all talking to each other. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, you can get them from there. And again, you can all consult one another, talk to each other through this process. It is a bit different. You can take photos, send me images of some of the things that you took pictures of, and I can talk with you about it through email. Some of the, or if you want to set a Zoom up and we all talk one-on-one, that would be fine. I'm sorry, I let someone else in. So if you want to set up that also, that's fine. But the build out of all of this, the build out is the 2-page layout that we have. So we have the movement construction and then the contour form. Online, I'll put the PDF and the demo online with me also doing it. So you can also have that with you. I'm gonna stick it in Trello and in Canvas now that we got space. But if there's any questions about getting out, like I said, so the I'm just reading the little lines on the side. Sorry, it's kind of funny. If there's any issues about getting all of the images like from life, just let me know. I know, because it says some people can't get outside, and you might not find as many unique floral items. Now I did find these guys. You can buy them. I don't know if you want to go to the store, man, but I actually went to is it Ralph's? That's the name of the store out here. Yeah, and found a whole bunch of floral plants that were there. Now they're on sale, big time on sale, because they, people ain't buying them. So you're talking about $12 plants that are $3. Things are like, they're just going for real cheap. So if you wanted to, if any of you are going into a store wrapped up with your hazmat suit, you can get a set of flowers that might work. That might be a easier task than having to go out, because they're real, they're life, and they work just as well. It's just you can sit out in the sun on your own porch with them, because the sunlight was what make the image fun, and the sunlight is what gives it all of the clarity of detail. Nothing's muted, and it's not just looking at something like a shoe or a vase. You're looking at life, a living thing, and you want to show that through the drawing. So again, before we go and head off to our other corners, any questions about the stages? I did run through it, and I did run quick. This is the botanical perspective work. It'd been great to be outside with you all together doing it, but we're going to work it this way. Any questions? If you have, you can post your little hands. That way I can see, because I have to reading through. And someone, okay, there's a Manny. What's going on? I can't hear you because you're muted. Or you're just saying everything's okay.
Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good, sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Someone said that I shaved. As I said, you shaved. Oh, yes, I did. You get bored, you have to do things. So, oh, that's when I had a mustache. Wow. Everybody found pictures. I'm being stalked, everyone.
Before you shaved.
$500 to the person who wants to be my bodyguard against sushi. So the steps that we're taking for this is in your sketchbook, or if you want, you could cut your big pad in half and use those half sheets. You may say, how many pages? I need you to do 100 pages. That's 200 plants. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, you have to do 20 plants. So that's 10 pages. Yeah, so 10 plants, 10 different plants that you can find. So that would be, it's 10 pages, but it's 20 plants because you're doing it, 2 on a page. So that would be your number. Floral, plant-based, cactus, cacti, any other weird plant names, Flaminis, Flamoris, Plaurotus, whatever they want to call these plants. And yes, you can. Any work that's been behind, you can also put up in the Trello board. The boards are there, so all you gotta do is post your name. Make sure your perspective is posted on the board, so that way I can see your perspective PDF, which is over here on the left. You all have your names. Post your PDF file there. Use Adobe Scan to set up, and you should be all good. So like I said, any late work you could turn in. Make sure you post a PDF from Adobe Scan, and I will be turning these images, going over all your images into the green and the orange tags that will happen. I started some, you should be able to see the green tags on some. That means you're good to go with those, and I'll tag the rest before the weekend. The PDF of this project and the video will be embedded in it, will be posted before the weekend, so between now and Friday, and you'll see things pop up in Trello. So this is your botanical plant layout. This is for everyone. This isn't a separate assignment from intermediate or advanced, or intermediate to beginning, because I know this is new for intermediate. So I want you to approach this with the same care you had with the other projects. And I'll post today's demo and video up also, because we are being recorded. Okay. So to all of you, have a beautiful day. Make sure that you stay safe and wrapped up. This process is going to have a much higher detail of steps, meaning tutorial steps that I'm going to post than any other ones. Make sure that, so the plant drawings are done in our sketchbook. Yes, they are. They're in the sketchbook or in the pad that you cut the paper in half, and you use half sheets to do it. The cheapest charcoal to use is by General, called General. And a nicer one is by Winsor & Newton. They make a really nice charcoal that we use. There's hard, vine, and compressed charcoal. That's definitely will be there. That's being used. So I'm kind of answering some of your questions. Some of your classmates are answering questions too, which is great. I like the camaraderie. You're able to engage and talk with each other about anything. The eraser brand is called Eraser Stick by Sanford. The name of the company is Sanford, but they call it an eraser stick. And they work really cool for detailing and stuff like that. And the brush gets rid of all the little flicks that are there for it. Don't paint with it now. It's not going to work the same. So that way you'll be able to. Now, compressed comes by many different people. General makes a set. Winsor Newton makes a set. As long as you get those two, either one of those brands, you're good. I mean, everybody else then is kind of, you'll see all the other brands, but the names General or Winsor Newton. Winsor Newton is a better grade than General. General is like the basic grade, you know, cost wise. That'll be there. That's not Corona. That's just me coughing. Just letting you all know. So the page is split in half and it's kind of full, kind of full. All good? All right. See you later.